Hello, all you cat and possibly small dog lovers. I was just about to open this box and then thought it might be a good idea to actually do a YouTube video on it in the event that you might be interested in buying one of these things. So what is it? So it's a giant cat wheel. So it's an exercise treadmill. But if you had a small dog, you could probably do this as well. I bought this here locally, so don't ask where I bought it unless you live in Thailand. You know, the shipping would be prohibitive. So this is really just more about the concept. You know, would my cat like this? I've seen other videos where cats like this stuff. This one is like 1.2 meters supposedly, but let's pull out the measuring device. Well, I think the outer diameter is 1.2 meters, but the inside diameter is more like 1.1 meters. That's really what counts, right? The surface that the animal's gonna run on. Well, I guess the outside diameter does matter to see if you can get such a thing in your car. This was delivered by a truck, of course. All right, so in the middle of it is the base, and let me get the plastic wrapping off of that thing. It's zip tied to the back. Alright, I guess it's not zip tied. It's actually just that nylon webbing is going through the back of the box. So I think it's actually packaged well, where I think I can just pull this. So let's see, get a different angle here. Alright, let's set this up. Well, let's move this over here. And let's take a look at it. There's my microphone. Alright, so it's that particle board, the sawdust board, which is fine. This wasn't very expensive. It was like $100. And it's got simply a threaded rod with some nuts holding this plastic roller. I'm going to guess there must be a ball bearing in there because it's rolling very smooth and very quietly. And you'll see it's a channel, so I think that, you know, the wheel is supposed to rest in these things. So that one rolls very smoothly. This one rolls very smoothly. Yes, very smooth, very smooth. Probably CNC machined. You know, they went over it with a router and all that, so there's no sharp edges on the outside. The inside is maybe just hand sanded, it looks like. I think it could go to use maybe a coat of paint, but that's up to you, of course. For now, let's just see how well it works. Let me unwrap that wheel. So the outside surface has like some sort of felt carpeting on it, just for appearances, I guess. I've seen other ones where this giant diameter is multiple pieces, but I felt it would be better to get one that has one continuous ring. But we'll have to see how well it rolls. Okay. weight-wise, is quite light. I'm just lifting it with one hand. So we're going to rest it on those black rollers. Okay. So looking at it, I'm going to spin this right here. You'll notice there's no breaks in this ring, this wooden ring. So this is one continuous piece of wood. Well, granted, it's particle board. Yeah, that's done a full revolution at least. So that's what makes me think this is a very concentric circle. Where some of the other ones I've seen, you know, there's 4 parts and you have to bolt them together. But then you're going to have a little, like, you know, break. And I think the bearings are going to have a harder time rolling this thing. One thing I was a little skeptical of is this. There's a pretty big gap here. But I guess it's so big, your animal's foot would have a really hard time getting trapped in there. Right? If this gap was actually tighter, then the animal might get its, you know, paw or toe or something like that stuck in the gap. But this is just giant, so I don't think it's a big concern. Alright, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a piece of tape on this ring. Alright, I put a piece of tape around the top center. I'm going to spin it, and let's see how long it'll coast on its own. I'm going to try to see how fast I can spin it before it starts to, like, make the base wobble. So it seems like 1.5, almost 2, 1 3/4 of a revolution just doing that. But I noticed here, this is pretty soft. You can see it be denting it. I don't think there's a piece of wood here. I almost feel like, see, I'm hitting it from the inside, and you can kind of see it bulging. Maybe it's a piece of plastic in between these boards, but it's not very strong, right? You can just see the waviness of it. So that's partially as to why this thing is so light. And I'm not sure if they did that to save on materials or if it actually creates more of a cushioning effect where the animal can, you know, as they run, it's a softer surface. I don't know if it's good or bad, really. But it seemed to spin pretty well considering how light it is. So, you know, setting it to the top again. So it seems to be a decent enough of rolling there, and it will obviously slow down. And these plastic rollers down here are doing a good job of keeping that wood from falling out. You can see there's a little sawdust apparently. Maybe over time the thing will polish the wood or something. Oh, I'm noticing it's not even aligned 100% well. Let me get the... I don't know if you can see right there. This wood is not centered in there 100%. Yeah. I don't know if that's done on purpose, but I guess if I wanted to, I could basically loosen the nuts and I can move the wheel inwards more to totally center this. But it's actually less rolling resistance if it's only touching one part of the black wheel. If I centered it perfectly, then 2 parts of the wheel are going to cause a lot of friction. So it might be actually better to leave it the way it is, where only one part of the wood is touching. On this one, it seems to be quite centered though. Let me look on the other side. Let's get some more light in here. Yeah, this one looks like it's centered pretty well, but not, the front one is not. So they centered the rear, but the front one, they're only touching on this side of the wood. So anyways, seems to be easily adjustable if you do want to center it 100%. But I'm gonna just probably leave it the way it is for now and see if my cat likes it. Let me go get my cat and see what happens. Alright, We're gonna see if my slightly overweight cat is gonna like this. Very first time it's gonna be put in this thing. Yes. Alright, I don't think it realizes it moves, so I'm gonna get a laser pointer. Come on, see the laser. Might have a strange odor. Come on, get in there. Alright, I wasn't gonna actually finish this video, but I might as well because it kind of works. So, watch this wheel and this piece of wood, how much it warps as it spins. Right, so that thing's moving around left and right quite a bit. And so what I did to help, alleviate the vibrations in the wheel, I just removed all the bolts from all of them. And so now this plastic roller can actually just float left and right. It's kind of loose. There are bolts here, so it doesn't go too far. But this axle rod or whatever, this threaded thing, theoretically might be able to move left and right. So the black cat that you saw, it never runs on this thing because it's old. It did it like once, and then the vibration stopped it from running on it anymore. But we have this newer cat here, and this cat's so young it just doesn't care. So I'm gonna show you this cat freaking out in this thing because I just put some new batteries into the laser toy here. So okay, look at the laser. Alright, so you see the wheel can work if the cat just doesn't care about a smooth ride. Maybe this cat, when it gets older, it won't like it. But the summary of this is, even though this looks like it should be a concentric ring, it's really not, because I think the material they used to join these two together might just be too flimsy, and then the whole bearing system just doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be using threaded rods. It should be using smooth steel rods, and they should be able to slide a lot easier. Or I don't know, the ring should be concentric. So I don't know if I don't think I'm going to buy a different one. I've seen other ones where they have a bunch of wood boards screwed in, and that might be a more concentric thing, because one would hope that the holes are lined up identically between the left and the right rings. But maybe you can leave a comment, and if you do have a different style, please leave a comment with a weblink, and I'll try to maybe find one of those here locally where I live. Thank you for watching. We'll see you another time.